Namaste. My name is Ekta. So we will be having these mantra chanting sessions at Avya starting on this Thursday. As part of this class, I want to touch upon a few things about mantra chanting. We will be focusing on Shanti mantras to begin with, and these are the Shanti meaning peace mantras that we usually chant at the beginning or at the closing of yoga practices. The purpose of these mantras is to establish a good environment in the classroom, in your own mind, and within the space of teaching and learning for the benefit of the study itself. So, when it comes to mantra chanting, it's very important to chant or pronounce the words properly. As we are in Sanskrit language here, and Sanskrit, there is a lot of variation tone to the sound. Like there is a dirgha, you raise the sound sometime. There is a hrasva, you bring the sound down sometime. And it's important to chant it correctly. If we don't chant the mantras correctly, one thing is it doesn't have the energetic benefit that it could possibly have. And second thing is sometimes the meaning itself can get modified. So in these classes, we will focus on chanting the mantras first and then making sure we are understanding the meaning of the Sanskrit language behind it, chanting it correctly. Then we also delve into the meaning of the mantra itself. So, how can we incorporate the essence of the mantra in our own lives? And as a meditative practice, we chant all together a few times. So, we focus on chanting properly. That's what the purpose of this class is. And it will not happen in one class. This correct pronunciation, especially if Hindi or Sanskrit is not your primary language, can take time. And for some of us, because the language tone is different, we are coming from different parts of the world, it may not exactly match. The purpose is not to exactly chant like me or somebody else. Just understand the meaning, apply it to your best knowledge, and we start from there. But with regular practice, it is going to create a deeper impact than just simply chanting it without knowing the pronunciation and meaning of it. It is the sounds that we are making and the way we are chanting, the vibration of mantras is felt all over your body. So, that is one of the physical impact that you feel right away. That is why, whenever even you hear somebody else chanting and you allow yourself to absorb the sound within yourself, you can feel a benefit of it. So, being able to chant yourself in the correct tone with the it's very important to have the intention of doing what I am suggesting we are doing. If you have the intention of learning the chanting and letting it influence, that intention has to be there in the beginning in your mind. Then when we chant with that intention and you're making the right pronunciation and also holding the meaning of the mantra in your mind somewhere, so it's like an intention setting. So you're not simply chanting or speaking words. There is an intention, emotion behind the words that you're chanting. That, I think, that can overcome any logic, actually. That the benefits, it will overcome any logical boundaries that don't help you feel the chant. That is one aspect of it. And like I already mentioned, the making of the sound itself is very soothing for the body. It's felt at a cellular level in your body. There are plenty, but not something I can quote from right now. But it is clearly felt, and in fact, if you see, that would be the benefits behind sound healing. Also, there are certain frequencies that influence our body at a pleasant level. So that is the science behind it, as far as I know. So similar to that, there's something called as chandas. And it's something I got to know only recently, to be honest. So every mantra was supposed to be chanted in a certain chandas, actually. So probably, uh, I think it's, yeah, something like that. Yeah, so something similar to classical music, but not exactly the same, I think. But there is something like that in mantra chanting. As a yoga student, I've been doing it since some time, and like in Indian education, mantra chanting is a part of our education system. So we know a lot of mantras by default. But it's only after some study and working with my teachers that I have been able to understand the meaning behind the mantras and the reason why I feel the energies of the mantras the way I do. So that's been my journey. So let's look at this Shanti mantra. It's pronounced like this. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. This mantra actually creates a very positive environment before starting a class or before beginning any spiritual practice. The meaning behind this mantra is a very beautiful one. It actually takes you directly to the core of spiritual knowledge. The mantra is suggesting you, even before you begin an activity, it is suggesting that you are whole by nature. Om Purnamadaha, that which is outside of you, is whole by nature. Purnamidam, I am whole by nature. Purnat Purnamudachyate. The mantra is suggesting that from this outer wholeness only, this wholeness has come. So our perception is usually through our own body and mind. The mantra is reminding you you are part of the larger whole. Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. From this wholeness, even if you remove some wholeness, it still remains whole in nature. And even if you were to add some more to it, it would remain whole in nature. This mantra reminds us that we are whole by nature, which is the core message of the Vedas. And it is a beautiful mantra to begin our practice with.